Michael Huber.
Ben Moore.
We've played a lot of excellent games this year, and you are the most hyped person in the office. What were the games that filled you, Michael Huber, with joy?
The Evil Within.
Oh, tell me about the Evil Within.
Oh, The Evil Within got shafted in GameTrailers Game of the Year award ceremony, nominations, what have you. That game is just right in my wheelhouse. Everything about that game just screams my name. It just speaks to me. It is exactly the type of game that I love to play. Just the pacing, the thoughtful encounters, having to just constantly think on your feet and just creep through the game at a slow pace. Granted, there's a couple parts at the end that are pretty action-packed. You don't really have to think about it, but the majority of that game is just right in my wheelhouse, and I loved it.
Do you think it's the return of survival horror that you want to see?
Absolutely. If I saw more games like this, I would be ecstatic. So.
Do you think we will see more games like this?
Yeah, because it sold really well,
Awesome.
which I'm so happy about.
Awesome.
DLC comes out next year, so it's a little Happy New Year to Evil Within fans. So.
I want to talk about a little game that we both
geez.
enjoyed. I love the Evil Within too, by the way.
I know exactly what's coming.
No, you don't. Talk about Shovel Knight.
Oh!
Shovel Knight
Okay, save the bigs.
is my number 5
Yeah.
game of the year. I think Shovel Knight is a really easy game to dismiss. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a retro throwback. But I think it's much more than that. I think the people that made Shovel Knight, Yakuza Games, they grew up with Castlevania. They grew up with Mega Man, and they said, we love this. We feel like this type of game is going away. How can we bring it back? And I don't know if there was a single game that I played this year that I had a smile on my face about. Like I grew up with those games too, and it really spoke to me. But you love Shovel Knight.
Oh my gosh,
You said it was perhaps the most fun game you played this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I one of those games where you just don't want to put it down. That is such a rare feeling. I don't want to sound jaded or old.
Right.
But as you get older and you play more, and it just seems like that yearning to just keep playing is
Right.
is a thing of the younger years. So Shovel Knight was one of the games, along with Evil Within, surprisingly, considering how long and a little more intense of a sit down, get into it style game. But both of those games specifically were like, I need to keep playing. I want to keep playing. I need to know what happens. Shovel Knight in particular, I wanted to know what was going to happen to the character.
How charismatic was Shovel Knight and his love, for Shield Knight. That was so cool. It's something you didn't expect out of an 8-bit. I don't remember feeling that way about Mario or Mega Man or anything like that. I didn't feel that connection, so I thought that was really cool.
It had this Naruto Akatsuki vibe. All these secondary villains that just had this awesome personality to them.
Definitely. All right. Next game on your list.
Next game on my list has got to be sticking with the little games, Velocity 2X. Surprisingly,
Little games that feel big.
Yeah. PS Plus, the gift that just keeps on giving. Would have never picked this game up. Would have never even known about it if it weren't for the PlayStation Plus free giveaway. Just the tone and the pace of that game. The music in particular, it was my favorite soundtrack of the year, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really liked the soundtrack, and they save the 2X gimmick for near the very end of the game, which I really liked. It was this cool payoff. You get to control 2 ships, hence 2X, and then it turns into controlling both at the same time, blasting through these levels at high speeds. So I like
there was an immediacy to Velocity that I love.
Yeah.
I could just
sense
pick it
of
up.
urgency.
Yeah, and I'm suddenly doing something very fast-paced, very chaotic. It's boom, boom, boom. It's a game that, and this is something that I'm valuing more and more. It's a game that doesn't waste your time.
Yeah.
You understand the point of it immediately, and it knows what it wants to be, and I think that's very valuable.
Good game.
Good game.
Next up.
Next on my list, another game. We share very similar tastes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I wanted to say really, really quick anecdote. GameTrailers makes a lot of mistakes. We're not perfect.
No.
I think we messed up in not reviewing Velocity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is an awesome
I wanted to
game.
review that.
I think it is a game that would have come up in our deliberations more had it been more of a presence on the site.
Yep.
So, personal opinion there. Next game on my list, Another game we both deeply admire. I would say we were even obsessed with for a brief period of time. Dark Souls 2
Oh my gosh.
takes the number 4 spot.
This game.
What a game.
Just this. It consumes you when you play. You have to sacrifice yourself, and it's are you willing to sacrifice everything in the name of this game? And to me, I am. I am ready and able. I will sacrifice my life. And for the 2 to 3 weeks non-DLC, just for the core game, for the 2 to 3 weeks that I was playing that game, it was every single day. And there's that dread of what if I can't beat this? But with perseverance, I think anyone can get through that game. It might just take longer for some than others, but I think if everyone gives their effort, they can get through it.
And it's one of those games that you have to. Every moment, I feel like, leads to stories. I feel like I can tell a game is good when the entire GameTrailers office is playing it, and we have conversations with everyone. The video editors, the content guys. They're like, "Hey man, I need some help on this boss." I remember when Ryan was reviewing it, he was trying to figure out how to get down the well, and he didn't realize how to use the ring yet. And it was just those moments like that where you see something and you're like, "What does it do? How do I get there? What the covenants? All of those."
Yeah.
I think all the games on my list, it is the game that held the most mystery to me.
Yeah.
I think we're running out of time.
We're running out of time.
We gotta. I would love to sit here and talk about these.
One
games.
of the biggest surprises, one of the biggest gems was Wolfenstein: The New Order. Came out of the shadows.
The biggest surprise of the year to me. I love this game.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
The story, the characters have no business being as compelling as they are.
Yep.
The moment-to-moment combat just had this retro vibe with just. I've said this around the office. The controls are butter.
Yeah.
They're everything about it is just smooth.
What a smooth game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I feel like Wolfenstein is one of those franchises where it's like, this should probably be dead or is dying, and Machine Head Games, it's clear they cared about it. It's clear they cared about the spirit of Wolfenstein and
back.
resurrected it in a way that feels both classic and modern.
Yeah.
Next game, Divinity Original Sin.
Divinity.
This is the best RPG that I've played this
Daunting.
year. We're gonna review it at some point.
Daunting game.
I just really briefly, it is a game that offers a tremendous amount of freedom. It's a game where I feel like the way you make your character matters. It's a game where I feel like it encourages improvisation. And it's a game that I feel like people are afraid to make big JRPGs that don't have waypoints and don't hold your hand every step of the way. Divinity just throws you into the thick of it. And as somebody who admires and deeply loves and respects old computer role-playing games, that spoke to me on a very personal level.
It makes me depressed that I can't give it the time it deserves.
It's a demanding game.
Yeah, you talk about give your life. That game, give months of your life.
Absolutely.
And lastly, I think we can both agree
The big one.
on our personal, probably our favorite game of the year. I mean, Evil Within is my favorite game, but this one too. And I know it's your favorite game.
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
A game that has just swept through this office like a hurricane.
Oh my God. You want to talk about games consuming us.
Yeah.
We've been playing Hearthstone every single day since it came out in March.
I mean, I'm like
Pretty
I'm writing things on the side while I have Hearthstone open in a tab.
Right.
Everyone's getting pissed. Matt Blair is pissed. He's calling you out. He's saying, "Why are you not working?" Ian says, "We got to film. Stop playing Hearthstone."
Right.
Brandon Jones is back there squeezing games in. Just legendary game that has only scratched the surface of what it is going to become.
Why do you think Hearthstone is our favorite game this year? Or one of our favorite games this year?
Just first of all, the Warcraft lore tied to it. We're already so attached to that. We both love card games, Magic the Gathering specifically. And I mean, I hate to say that it caught us off guard, but there is always that factor of just this game coming out of the shadows that has maybe more of an impact on you.
Really quick, I just want to say that it is a game that in the truest sense, I almost feel like it has a Mario quality to it. I've shown this game to people that don't play games. I've shown it to people that are very into games, and within about an hour, they grasp it. And then months later, they're still learning new things all the time.
My mom plays Hearthstone on iPad.
Yeah.
That's how
But
that's
I
how
don't think
reach this
accessibility makes a good game, but as somebody who's this year has probably dumped close to 1,000 hours into Hearthstone,
and
I'm
dollars.
still learning. There's still, you just told me about a card effect, and I'm like, oh wait, it does that, or wait, it can combo with that. I'm amazed at its depth, and I'm amazed at how easy it is to pick up and play. And it's something,
I love that Blizzard vibe of easy to play, so easy to jump into, but on the exact opposite end, it is the most hardcore you could ever imagine.
I feel like
it is the perfect balance.
Michael Huber, last year, I was really salty about free-to-play games. I feel like as kind of the new guy at GameTrailers, or one of the new guys last year at GameTrailers, I had to play a lot of bad free-to-play games, and it made me very bitter about the format, except for Dota 2. And here we are,
Just
saying
change the
Hearthstone is one of
landscape.
the best games of the year.
Yeah.
It's that good, and it's totally opened my mind up to new types of games.
Absolutely. Hell of a year. The only thing that's going to top it, 2015.
2015?
2015.
Bloodborne! Thanks, everybody.
This Game of the Year discussion has a part-time sponsor in guitars. Now that's living. Live to play, play to live.